Here is my recap of Dexter Season 2, Episode 7, entitled, That Night, a Forest Grew. In this episode, Dexter tries to take back his life. He ends up sending a manifesto to the police department. Him and Dokes go after each other, and Dexter ends up making some decisions in regards to his love life. And so does Deborah. So let's talk about these different storylines. Let's first talk about Dokes and Dexter. Dokes and Dexter have been going after each other since the first season, and that goes into high gear in this episode. There are two different things that Dexter does to try and derail Dokes. The first is at a crime scene at the beginning of the episode, where they're investigating a murder that happened of a 16-year-old girl at a pool where she had been bludgeoned to death. And Dexter ends up having to go there to take pictures of the blood on the guy's shirt. And he tells a lie to Dokes to get him sidetracked and to get him in trouble. Dexter knows this guy is innocent, but he puts Dokes on the case so that Dokes gets in trouble. He gets the report done, hides it so nobody sees it, and then claims that it had been on Dokes' desk the entire time while Dokes has been interrogating this individual. And he was really going at him in a large way. So this really upsets Dokes. And as soon as it gets revealed from LaGuerta that the report was on his desk that Dexter put in there underneath a bunch of folders so he wouldn't see it, claiming it came in the night before, Dokes goes crazy. And he tells LaGuerta, he's trying to do this to me. So later on, he goes into Dexter's room and to Dexter's office and is waiting for Dexter to show up. When Dexter does, Dokes lays it all out and says, I'm on to you. I know something's going on. You did this on purpose. And at that stage, Dexter realizes, well, he's not recording anything and there's no cameras in there. So he headbutts Dokes and leaves the room, casually walks out into the room. As he's walking out there, Dokes comes up behind him and starts wailing on him, slamming his head into a desk and wailing on him. And that's when they have to pull him off. And LaGuerta ends up having to take his gun, his badge, his clearance, and kicking him out. And Dexter's doing this to get Dokes, letting Dokes know I'm in control. Now, at the same time, he also sent a manifesto to the police department, and he knows how the police department thinks and how they investigate. So in this manifesto, he sent it to them to get them off his trail and to confuse them. Lundy realizes this by the end of the episode and shows that whoever did this, they obviously have a background in law enforcement because they use religion, they use politics, they use everything under the book, and it's all just mishmashed in there, just all, put together like particle board. So Lundy is very well aware of what's going on, and he's, they start arguing about it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And that's when Lundy says, this is exactly what this killer wants from us. He wants us to be confused. So they realize now that they've been being played all along. Now, at the same time, Dexter continues to have a relationship with his sponsor, Lila. And they actually break into a home at one point and have sex in this home. And that's when Dexter gets a call from one of Rita's kids, the young son, says, I want you to come to my book review tomorrow at school. I'd like you to be there when I present the book review. And he says he'll go. And at the same time, Lila ends up actually selling a really expensive piece of her art that she's been putting together. Somebody paid $18,000. Well, right after she gets the check, Lila tries to call Dexter, and Dexter is actually at the book fair, whatever it is, where they're presenting this book. He sees that Lila calls and he turns the call off. He's there with Rita and the kids. And at the same time, Lila's on the other end setting fire to her entire apartment. So Dexter and Rita and the kids are leaving this book fair. They go out, and that's when Dexter gets a call from Rita saying there's been a fire. I'm in trouble. Please come and get me. And Dexter has to leave. Rita's not happy about it. And he says, there's been a fire. I have to go. And so they go, and Dexter shows up at her apartment. And that's kind of where this episode ends. So we've got a lot going on with Dokes. We have a lot going on with the Bay Harbor Butcher and the police trying to locate them. Oh, and there is a little bit of a romance there with both Lundy and Dexter's sister, Deborah. Deborah ends up breaking up with her boyfriend and then kind of taking on the traits of Lundy. And they end up having lunch together in a quiet area out by the water and that's when they do kiss each other. So there's a little bit of a romance going on between Deborah and Lundy at the same time. So we're going to see where this all leads into the next episode. So there's my recap on Dexter Season 2, Episode 7, entitled That Night a Forest Grew. I do appreciate everybody who's tuned in so far. Please hit the like button on this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when new videos go up.